How's it going, everybody? Too Spooky here. Just a little warning, this video is going to have a bit of a long-winded intro, because I just now realized I've never once mentioned this on my channel over the last 5 years, so feel free to skip ahead if you already understand what this video is tackling. But for those who might be clicking on this video with zero idea of what it's about, over the past 5 years I've been a part of Rustage's One Piece Dungeons & Dragons campaigns, playing alongside Tekken 101, Noble from Lost Paws, and Briggs, who was formerly All Day Anime, with Rustage as our incredible dungeon master. The first campaign began in April of 2020 and ended in May of 2023, where us players were a pirate crew in the One Piece world, 22 years before the events of the manga and anime. While the second campaign began in June of 2023 and is currently ongoing, this time featuring new characters as Marines in the One Piece world. 10 years after the events of our Pirates campaign, which makes it 12 years before the events of the main series. I might be a little biased, of course, but so far both of these campaigns have been an indescribable amount of fun. And if you have any interest in Dungeons & Dragons or One Piece, I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't already. I don't want to spoil anything for you about the greater plot or the characters if you're going in blind, but let me just say, it will be worth your time. Both of these campaigns will be linked in the description for YouTube and Spotify, and the YouTube episodes have the added bonus of watching me evolve like a Pokemon over the years. Like, no joke, I'm a completely different person from when we started. It's really weird. Outside of that, we've also had the incredible opportunity to do 2 different live session panels, one at Anime Expo and one at MCM Comic Con. And while we don't have another appearance set in stone quite yet, we do plan to do some more panels in the future, so follow all of us on Twitter for updates on catching us live in person. It's been so rewarding to meet so many of you, and I hope to catch you sometime soon. But with that long-winded intro aside, this is where the actual topic of the video comes into play. Because I get this specific question a lot, and while I've answered it plenty of times before, I figured having a video laying it all out would be helpful for anyone who doesn't watch my Twitch streams and is searching around for the answer, so potential spoilers going forward. The question in question is, where is Verona during the events of One Piece D&D Marines? As it's been established that Ragnar is essentially one of the big bads of Marines campaign. And a lot of people are wondering if Verona or any of the other members of the Devil's Luck Pirates will be making an appearance. Obviously, I can't speak on any of the other characters, but I can speak on Verona, since he is my character. So, let me set the stage for you. Following the finale of the Pirates campaign, Verona hasn't had it too easy. As one thing I always had in mind from the beginning is that Verona is pretty much just a normal guy in terms of strength and durability. He might be a lot smarter than the average person, but he is most certainly not built different, if you catch my drift. So with that in mind, Verona has been subjected to some horrific injuries over the many battles he fought in the campaign. And in the subsequent 10-year period between Pirates and Marines, Verona's injuries are heavily taking their toll on him. As for one big example, between his 2 battles with Blue Blood, Verona has had his entire ribcage shattered. Not once, but twice. And because of those massive injuries, his ribs haven't quite healed properly, which has resulted in Verona having immense trouble breathing normally, comparable to having emphysema. So because of this, Verona now wears his grandfather's respirator, which he and Lissa have altered to allow him to breathe, along with his torso being covered in a sort of mechanical armor to help keep his ribs in place so they don't shatter further. Because of these injuries in particular, Verona generally remains in a wheelchair, designed by Lissa, so that he can easily get around, as even walking a few steps has become a bit of a chore.
Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms. At night, I lie awake in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep. Oh, no! No! Ow!
On top of that, his eyesight has started to deteriorate from his overall poor condition, so he has also equipped his mother's laser eyes to the respirator, which thanks to their advanced technology has actually improved his vision past what he used to have. Verona's hands are really the only part of his body that still functions properly, which allows him to tinker with his various inventions. But on top of help from Lissa and Healy, he periodically animates small trinkets to help him along. So with all that in mind, Verona is obviously fully aware of the dark path that Ragnar has gone down, but sadly, due to his poor physical state, he is literally unable to do anything about it. He doesn't exactly feel guilty, because he already tried everything he could. More so, he just feels powerless to do anything at all. And since the disbandment of the Devil's Luck Pirates, Verona has slowly fallen out of contact with everyone and remains isolated, even though he has the technology to reach out and call them anytime with Lissa's radio devices. He just chooses not to. So in terms of where Verona is located now in the Marines campaign, he and Lissa run a small shop on an undisclosed island, where they repair people's gadgets and also sell various doohickeys of their own. I say undisclosed location because I'm leaving it completely up to Rustage if he ever wants to introduce Verona into the Marines campaign by Branch 101 potentially running into his shop somewhere. Rustage is fully aware of what Verona is up to, so it's within his power to decide if Verona ever makes an appearance to any capacity in Marines. Also, to touch on Verona's relationship with Lissa, it's a unique situation to say the least, because another aspect of Verona's character when I first created him was that I always intended for him to be asexual and aromantic, so a big part of his development was learning not only to allow someone to care for and love him, but also for him to discover what kind of love he was capable of reciprocating. So now, 10 years later, Verona and Lissa haven't exactly gotten married or anything, but they are most definitely partners, and Verona has given her the ring that will change her fate, if you get the joke. Unfortunately for Lissa, as Verona's health has deteriorated the past decade, he's also become unable to be physically intimate in any capacity. But they have tried, for lack of a better word. Let's just say Verona's devil fruit has been a bit helpful in that situation. The two of them also don't have any children, as Verona personally believes his bloodline is kind of cursed, and wants the curse to end with him. But that is the current state of Verona during the events of One Piece D&D Marines. I can't think of any other important details to add right now, so I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. So we'll have to wait and see if he actually makes an appearance. But don't get your hopes up. Before I end the video, I also wanted to take this opportunity to say if you guys have any questions related to Verona, Yokan, or my own personal opinions and experiences being a part of these campaigns, please comment your questions below. As if I get enough interesting questions, I plan on making an SBS video of sorts where I answer all of them within the next few months. So if you have any burning questions you need answered, don't hesitate to leave one. Although I also want to be clear that I'm not the Dungeon Master, so I can't exactly answer anything about what's going to happen in the future of the campaign, because I simply don't know. I can only answer things about my own characters or experiences. Thank you in advance for your questions. With that, thank you so much for watching, and for continuing to support One Piece Dungeons & Dragons. I'll see you all soon with the next video.